I just had a message come to me as I'm sitting here waiting for my car to warm up because it's cold outside. I just had a message come to me. Something that I think, well, there's plenty of things, but this is one of the things that I'll talk about today because this is just what came to me. I think one of the worst situations that anybody, whether you're a woman or man, is whether you are dating this person, meaning like y'all talking, y'all getting to know each other, and is working towards a potential relationship, or if you're actually in a full-blown committed relationship, whether that be just, a relationship boyfriend-girlfriend, how you want to look at it, or if you're in a full-blown marriage, it really doesn't matter. It's all relevant. One of the worst situations you could possibly be in is, in fact, in a connection with somebody that don't like you, with somebody not even don't like you, but hate your guts. I mean, so envious and just fueled with so much hate towards you, but yet is choosing to be in a connection with you to gain something from you. And I think this can also apply to friendships, because you'll have people who are literally in a friendship with you, don't like you, cannot stand your ass, but only want to be around you because they're getting something out of it. That's one of the worst situations to be in. And the reason why it's one of the worst situations to be in is because, for one, you will think that this person is genuinely into you. Because again, it's a game. All of it is a game. So that person is putting on their most grand performance, so that way you don't pick up in any kind of way that they don't like you, that they can't stand you. Oftentimes, those of us who find ourselves in situations like this, again, we genuinely think that this individual is interested in us, whether from a romantic standpoint or platonic, they're, friends. And the whole time, they don't like you. They don't like you. However, if you are an individual who have the gift of discernment, which everybody has the gift of discernment, but not everybody's gift is actually activated. Some of us have the gift of discernment, pattern recognition, all these different types of gifts. A lot of us actually have these gifts. They're just dormant within us. They haven't been activated. They haven't been tapped in. And even when they are trying to come to the surface, you're unfamiliar with what it is, or you're somewhat familiar, but you choose to ignore it and just disregard it outright. So in the end, of course, you have to accept the consequences that come with your actions. But a lot of times, if you're an individual that has the gift of discernment and that gift is indeed activated within you, you will start to notice little subtle things that this individual does that's going to give you some form of clarity. And a lot of times, you won't even be exactly clear on it. But I can guarantee you, if you've ever, whether this is present or this is past, if you ever start to question, does this person like me? Are they jealous of me? If any of that ever crosses your mind, that right there is a clear sign, very clear sign, that that person that you're in connection with don't like you. So there was this guy that I was dating, and in the beginning, no, there were no signs whatsoever. But again, this individual played so well. I mean, out of all the dudes I've dated, I have not dated a lot of men, but I've dated enough to be as seasoned as I am. In the beginning, I didn't see anything. It was a vibe. I'm not gonna lie, it was a vibe. So, I started introducing him to, introducing to my dog, let him come over to my house. He saw how my house was, and he was shocked. He thought I had a roommate. He was like, oh, this all you? And I'm like, yeah, this is me. What you mean? But even then, I didn't think anything of it. I showed him a prototype that I had designed when I was in college. It was a prototype of a bucket hat for the launching of my my clothing line. And he was like, oh, that is so dope. Like, I fuck with this. Because he's really into hats. He's a hat guy. Baseball caps, bucket hats. He's a hat guy. So he was like all into it. Well, let's fast forward a little bit. He got upset. I don't remember what he was upset about. I honestly don't remember what he was upset about. And if I remember correctly, it was something in regards to his path, his journey, his future, his career, all that good stuff. And me just trying to be that good, kind, supportive person for him. I'm just trying to be there, just to be there to support him what he was going through. And I said something. I don't remember what I said. And his response was,
I don't remember what I said, but I remember what he said.
His response was, well, I don't have a prototype or anything like that. And he said it just like that. And I looked at him sideways, and immediately it came to my head like,
my nigga, you jealous?
Like, are you jealous? And then from there on, more signs just started popping up, and then that's when I started getting the inclination like, yeah, this ain't it. This ain't it. Because you do not want to find yourself in a connection with somebody who genuinely don't like you. Because moving forward, he started to bring up all other kinds of stuff. His tone, his demeanor, everything. It was just like, yeah, bro, you don't fuck with me like that. Like, you don't really fuck with me like that. The reason why those individuals are very dangerous to be in connection with is because they will take things that you say to them. Let's say you are a person who, you're the person that everybody comes to for advice. You're always that supportive person. So people, you bring a sense of comfort to other people. People feel very safe and secure around you. Individuals like that will be feeding off of you. They will be feeding off of you. In fact, the more I invested into this person, the more I started to notice that I would feel drained. And I'm gonna tell you something. This is my first time ever experiencing something like this, and it's also my first time even sharing it with the world. I told one friend about it, and one friend tried to downplay it because I was high. She's like, oh girl, that was just the effect. Girl, you was just high.
That was not the effect of weed.
I saw very clearly the process of energy being siphoned. I was over at his place, and we were sitting across from one another, and he was talking. He could talk. Like, he was such a talker. He was talking, we were smoking, And I'm sitting across from him. I'm just walking, I'm looking at him. I'm just listening to him. I kid y'all not. Immediately, I'm going to do the best I can to try to explain this because it's really something that I really have a hard time trying to articulate it. So I just want y'all to try and follow me. I kid y'all not. I'm sitting across from him, and as I'm looking at him, I feel like this. You know, like you have a big speaker. You ever seen those big speakers, and when the volume is super high, like the speaker starts like doing like that, like vibrating, and you can almost see the vibrations coming off of the speaker. Picture that, but picture it in a way where it's like warding. It's doing this. It's doing that. As I'm looking at him, the energy is warding towards him from me. Hold on, this is a good example. Y'all ever seen Harry Potter? I'm not sure which one it was. Was it the Sorcerer's Stone? Hold on, I'm about to figure out. It's the Harry Potter movie, but it's the Prisoner of Azkaban. That one, that Harry Potter movie, where he had the mentors, however you pronounce that, those little black thingies that was coming after him. And there's one scene in the movie where he's on the train, and it comes after him, and it's start like sucking like his soul. That's a really good example, but still picture like that warding though. And as I was seeing this, I was feeling tired. So I tried like, even myself, I was like, what is this? So I looked away from him. Like I looked around, like I turned my whole body and everything. He's still talking. He's yapping it up. Yap. I turned my whole body. It stopped. Then when I looked back at him, it started again, just a warding. And I got tired. So I had to pause him. I was like, I'm sorry. I don't mean to be rude or anything, but I don't know. I'm feeling a little weird. I just put my head down. So I ended up putting my head down on the table. He's still talking. Mind you, by then, it started to like wear off just a little bit, but I kid you not, I was probably in that state for like 20 minutes. And then after I felt like cool, I went ahead and sat back up. And just continued to engage with him, but I pulled back a little bit. Like I got on my iPad and I started drawing and stuff. But ever since then, I was just like, what was that? What was that? I'm telling you, being in connections with people like that is very dangerous. They don't like you, they will hate your guts, but they won't tell you that, and they will still choose to stick it out in the relationship, in the connection, whatever, with you, because they are feeding off of you energetically. That experience that I had, I think that was clear as day, the process of energy siphoning. But the fact that I was able to see it with my two eyes, because with energy siphoning, that's not something you can see with your two eyes. You can't see that. You'll feel that. You will feel that. You'll be the one over here drained, all tired, and the other person will be all uppity, energetic, and ready to go run a damn marathon. But you'll be the one that's just like feeling like you're lazy, like you don't want to do anything. It was just like that. Just like that. Something we have to understand, that, again, we are spiritual beings having human experiences. Our spirits are the lights of our soul. So people are walking around, of course, we all walk around with different levels of frequencies, right? Some of us are vibrating high, some of us are vibrating just a little low. But I feel like individuals like that, they will specifically seek you out, build a connection with you, because you, to them, are a battery source. That's why you hear people say, don't let people put batteries in your back. You are an energy source for that person. This person looks at you as an individual with endless power, endless energy, whatever it is. And maybe that individual was somebody who was vibrating a little bit low, because he was vibrating low. He was vibrating a little low. I spoke in my podcast, it's called Dancing with the Devil, or Stop Dancing with the Devil. That was where I first opened up about that connection. And about my experience, and how that experience was for me. Because to me, again, out of all the dudes that I've dated, this individual was literally the closest to the devil in fucking human physical form. And I'm not exaggerating when I'm saying this. I am not exaggerating. These individuals, as long as you stick around,
they will suck you dry.
Suck you dry. Any blessings, any forms of abundance that's supposed to come your way, they will not come your way, because you are connected to an individual like that. And the thing about these certain individuals, they don't give a fuck. They don't give a fuck. As long as they're getting what they want.
They don't give a fuck.
And eventually, sometimes these individuals will even stop performing. Whatever mask they had on in the beginning, it will come off. It will come off. Because something that we have to understand, this applies to those who we consider to be narcissistic individuals. The thing about them is they get tired of wearing a mask. They even get tired of wearing the mask. But sometimes they'll have that mask on, but you'll be the one, because you can see through them, you'll be the one to snatch it off of them. But there are times where they'll just take the mask off themselves, because they feel as though they've got you hooked. They've got you hooked on fun. They've gotten you to a point where you're comfortable. You're not going to leave. You're here for life. So if you find yourself connected to anybody like that, and this can be anybody, like I said, it doesn't have to be from a romantic sense. It can be platonic, it can be feminine, it don't matter. Whoever these people are in your life, you better disconnect. You better get the fuck up out of there.
ASAP.
ASAP. Because if you don't, y'all talk about spiraling, or y'all talk about, I see some people talk about spiritual psychosis, then you're going to be spiraling. Call you Alice in Wonderland, but you won't be coming back from Wonderland. You're going to be stuck there. If nobody else tell you, you better, I'm going to tell you. I'm going to tell you. And I'm not lying. One thing about me, I'm not going to get up on this internet and share nothing personal about my life and lie about it. I have no reason to lie. You better get the fuck out of Dodge if you find yourself connected to an individual like that. But again, you won't know that you're in connection with an individual like that, because they're going to perform very well. So a lot of times, yes, you have to find yourself being in certain connections with people so you can actually get to know them. But I'm telling you, when you see the signs, and a lot of them are very, very subtle, but a lot of times it's going to come from their mouth. They tell themselves. That's why it's important that you listen more than you talk. That's why we got one mouth and two ears. You need to double more in your listening than you're talking. A lot of times these individuals be telling on themselves. They do it all the time. All the time. I tell you. I tell you. You better get up out of there. I think that's all the message I got today. Don't tell you. Don't say I didn't tell you, because I did.